I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I'm a coach who helps people professionally in a number of different ways. And here, I want to speak to you as a former executive recruiter. I worked in search for many, many years, filled a lot of positions. And now we're entering a new climate of hiring by video, which for many of you is going to be an awkward thing to do. It reminds me of the time where phone interviews became prevalent back in the Stone Ages. And firms really did a lot of their interviewing by phone exclusively, but then they had the fallback of meeting in person before the hire took place. Here, you may not have that option for quite some time. And as such, you have needs to fill and have to make that commitment to someone, and it's going to feel awkward because you've never really done it before. And you need someone, so you got to move fast. So what do you do? How do you put this together? And I want to start by saying you need to be clear about the skills and experiences that a person needs to have in order to be successful in the role. Secondly, you need to be clear about how you're going to evaluate for those skills. And if you're going to involve other people, who you're going to involve in it, and help them get clear about what they are going to ask in order to find out whether a person's qualified. Notice this should be pretty standard stuff from regular interviewing, but there it feels a little bit more freewheeling. Here, because this is new, I want you to establish baselines for yourself about how you're going to evaluate and assess. And as such, don't go off of script right away. Stick with the script and then dig deeper to understand further. Because there's so many different positions that can be filled, I'm not going to go about the dig deeper. You know the real expertise that you have and that you need to have in these roles more than I do. But start with the baseline. From there, recognize this person's not a performer. They're not there to entertain you, but you'd like to connect with them in some way. Now, recognize your biases about certain types of people. Well, I have no biases. Bull. You have preferences that you've illustrated in your past based upon previous hiring decisions about oral communications. Now we've got video appearance, what a person might wear on camera, things along those lines, how expressive they are. Do you generally hire introverts or extroverts? Why does that really matter when they're working remotely and you're hiring them remotely? You need to be clear about this. I'm not advocating one way or another, but I just want you to think it through proactively and collect notes. Now, one way you can collect notes on a lot of video services is record the conversation so you can do a playback of certain sections just so you don't miss anything. And if you are going to record, I want you to say very clearly to them at the very beginning of the interview, I'd like to record this for playback later. May I have your okay? If they say no, you can't record, and you'll say, that's fine. It would have helped me. Don't hold it against them. They may have some reason for why that's not appropriate for them. Just accept it, let it go. I do that in coaching. I always ask people if it's okay to record them. From there, evaluate later on. Evaluate with the other people that you've involved in the process. If you need to revisit the requirements, go back to some of these people because you figured it out later on, and you can message them and say, hey, look, we realized we needed people with a little bit more of this or that. Can we dig in a little bit deeper? This way you're not rejecting people because of your lack of preparation or your newness or being raw at doing this. So again, going a little bit deeper and find out more from them so that this way you can do the evaluation or assessment. Avoid interviewing 20 people. Find out if they can do the job, and then from there, see the following. How do you feel about working remotely? What we're doing in order to stay connected with one another is, and you walk them through that. Talk with them about your expectations. If you're a demanding manager, let them know that you're going to be demanding and what your expectations are. Remember, It's not fair to them if you're going to bring them in under false pretenses. Again, be clear about what you're going to expect of them and how you're going to evaluate them. Tell them what success is going to look like in the role and what failure might look like as well. This helps them judge, and you can watch their face and see how they respond to that. Because they can go, oh, that's okay. Or they can go, no problem. Or lots of options in the middle. It gives you a sense of how they are. One last thing you may want to check on is at some point you may want them to work on site. Check if that's an option for them. And you can ask them point blank, we're located in fill in the blank. At some point, we're all going to get together back at our offices at that location. Is that a problem? And they'll say whatever they say. Again, these all help you make decisions. The last point I want to bring to your attention is if you get afraid to pull the trigger because you're not sure, ask for advice. You've got people that you trust that can help you make decisions. You can hire me for a consult, but you don't know me. You don't know my capabilities. Even though I've worked in search for a long time and I've got thousands of videos on YouTube and a podcast that helps people with job search. And I had one about hiring, but I don't do that one anymore. You don't know me? Go to someone that you trust. And if it happens to be me, visit my website, thebiggamehunter.us. You can schedule time for a coaching session with me. We'll go through the scenario. Obviously, I'm going to charge for that. If you want to watch more of my content, go to YouTube at jobsearchtv.com. I've got thousands of videos there about job search, hiring more effectively, managing and leading, workplace-related issues, thousands of posts there that can help you. And you can connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/in/thebiggamehunter. Mention that you saw this because I like knowing I'm helping some folks. Once we're connected, message me that you're interested in coaching. We can set up time for a session that way. Hope you have a great day and be great. Take care.